What's up, everyone? It's the Tyrant here. Welcome back to my Halo 3 Mythic walkthrough, aka LASO or LASO, whatever you want to pronounce it. Legendary, all skulls on, no saves, no deaths. So you start out with a Spartan laser here. We're going to use that Spartan laser to take out these two turrets. There we go. This is the mission, the Covenant. One of my favorite missions in the game. And we're going to play this mission as aggressively as possible. Now, you don't actually have to laser any of these guys. You can save the laser if you want to. There are two strategies to this mission. The first is that you keep the laser and use it later on when you're actually going up against the Brute Chieftain in Tower 3. But the problem with that is that you actually don't get any ammunition for the final part of the Covenant. So my advice here is just to go ahead and after you're done culling the grunts, go ahead and skip the rest of this battle. I know this is a long slog, but it's actually faster than trying to take care of the Brute and the Anti-Air Wraith. So now we're just taking our time, walking up. Our mission appears to get a ghost. And to also keep the grunts from getting in their ghosts. Lots of big scenery here. This is peak Halo for me. This is Halo at its absolute finest.
Secure, Commander. Hostile anti-air has been neutralized.
Hold position. I'm on my way. Shipmaster, begin diversionary bombardment.
I will beat the Prophet's shield like a drum. By the time the barrier falls, he will beg for mercy.
Spark believes Truth can activate the rings at any time. If he does, Earth, every being in the galaxy, Halo will kill them.
Alright, get ready because the grunt's about to make a run for his ghost. And we're going to take that ghost and eventually one of the beam rifles up here. The beam rifles are for the brutes on the top of the tower. So go ahead and trade out your Spartan laser for the beam rifle. We're going to take out this turret right here to see if that buys us a little bit of time.
Get to the first tower. Shut it
As you can
down.
see, our shields are down, which is not the way I want things to be, but we still made it. Alright. Thanks to the Mythic Skull, because the Mythic Skull actually has an impact on you as well. So we're waiting right here for the two Prowlers to come out. As soon as they do, go ahead and rush this area. Kamikaze your way. Right there, through the turret. Grab the invisibility. Jump up here, on top of these crates. As soon as you activate your invisibility, crouch jump up here, and you should be in good shape. I'm going to go ahead and melee a grunt for health.
Chief, you've got to offline that tower.
For shields, I should say. And now we're up to the top of the tower. There are 4 brutes up here and a 5th brute that is a brute chieftain. The chieftain's easy. But we want his invincibility. Now that is a crapshoot because sometimes he has other equipment. So if he has something other than invincibility, or if he activates invincibility, I highly recommend starting the mission over because you're going to want that invincibility later. So we're going to use the beam rifle for these two brutes up here. Unlike the sniper rifle, it's actually very effective against brute armor. Now, where is brute number 4? Alright, we're going to see if we can lure him out. There he is. There he is. Alright, so once brute number 4 is down, that'll trigger the chieftain to charge. Sidestep, melee.
Chief,
Easy as that.
find the tower controls and shut it down.
Alright, so first tower is down for the count.
Chief. That's one.
Now,
The arbiter should be just about to
grab the
get you.
invincibility.
It's all up to Johnson's team now.
You should have a battle rifle at this point and
Back
plasma
outside,
pistol
Chief.
ammo.
Wait for transport.
Now, all the enemies that you skipped
Johnson,
from the bottom level will now be bunched up against the door with the exception of 3 grunts, which are going to be in the back. We need to take care of the grunts first, otherwise they're going to stick you with a plasma grenade.
Sergeant Major. Johnson, can you hear me? Chief, you need to link up with the arbiter and proceed directly to the 3rd tower. Make your way back to the beach.
There are 2 carbine jackals here, several grunts, 5, I believe, shielded jackals, lots of grunts, and 2 brutes. So go ahead to this back door right here. That's where the other grunts are going to be. You have a carbine crate right here that we're going to definitely utilize. Alright, with the 3 grunts down, you should now no longer have to worry about enemies sneaking up behind you. Grab the plasma pistol. Pretty much most of your weapons at this point are going to be the plasma pistol and the carbine for the remainder of the mission. Now again, you can... Uh-oh. Watch out for the jackals here. Now, the plus side of carrying the Spartan laser with you to Tower 3 is that you can easily take out the Brute Chieftain there, which is one of the hardest chieftains to take out on Mythic difficulty. Because he has a plasma turret. And he can mow you down very quickly. The downside is it means that you're not going to have sufficient weapons for the final part of the mission, which is when you actually enter the Citadel. So from here, just take your time. So you're probably wondering why I'm not using the invincibility here just to rush through this area. There's actually a much more important part of the mission where the invincibility definitely comes in handy. We're saving that invincibility for then. It applies specifically to Tower 3, more specifically when you're exiting the tower. And it definitely comes in handy, so we're waiting till then. There's no rush here. You have 4 full carbines worth of ammo here. There's the crate on the bottom floor, and there's also a crate over here on the top. Over on the right-hand side. There's also a terminal up here as well. Lots of ammo, so just take your time. I don't know how many of these jackals are pet jackals at this point. For those who are just tuning in, a pet jackal is a jackal that uses its overcharge and then depletes its plasma pistol. By doing that, they can no longer actually attack you, and you can melee them for shields as much as you want. But they're not shooting at me at the moment. We have one more grunt left, no more grunts left, and 4 jackals. So again, just take your time here. If you want to, you can jump down and test to see if they're pet jackals or not. A little bit of a chain reaction there. Whoop, another grunt. He was hiding. Alright, I can hear them trying to fire their plasma pistols, which means that they are completely depleted of ammunition. There we go. All enemies down. Now grab the best plasma pistol you can find here. Keep in mind the famine skull keeps you from getting 100%. Unless you're actually taking a plasma pistol from a crate. That's a different story. Then load up on carbine ammo and proceed to the Hornet location. Now, it's intended here that you use the Hornet to dogfight the Banshees and the singular Phantom. I'm going to show you how to skip all of that because it's not necessary. And it's a lot faster.
Get in, sir.
Grab the plasma pistol. Grab the mongoose. And then drive back to the beach. Now, there are going to be some grunts and jackals and a shade turret between you and the beach. Again, just drive right by them. There's no need to engage them at all. Usually they spawn after you've taken out the anti-air wraith, but since we skipped the anti-air wraith, they're going to be there this time around. So just drive right by them. There they are, just kind of hanging out. And grab the Hornet. Now, what you want to do here is hug the left-hand side of the screen. Stay low. That way the Banshees won't attack you. Now you can either go through that big rock in the distance, or you can go to the right of it. Either way is fine. But this allows you to dodge the fire that you would normally take from the Banshees and the Phantom. Now, once you get to Tower 3, you're going to want to go ahead and take the left-hand side. There are 2 entrances to the tower, the left-hand side, the right-hand side. The left-hand side is the one you want to take since most of the brutes tend to come out of the right.
Understood.
And we're taking some hits here.
Chief, clear an LZ, then get inside the tower.
We're going to skip her command. Just go straight through. So there's going to be at least 2 brutes that come over here. Ready your plasma pistol. Usually one of the brutes will drop a bubble shield, which gives you easy access to the tower. The other brutes are going to be going on the other side, so don't worry about them. Now there's going to be a bunch of drones that pop out over here on the right-hand side. Throw your grenades to just completely annihilate them. There are 2 hunters in here as well. We're not going to worry about them right now. If you did carry your Spartan laser with you, it only takes one Spartan laser, even on Mythic difficulty, one Spartan laser shot to down a hunter. Spartan laser was completely overpowered, as it should be, in Halo 3. So now we're actually going to skip this next section right here where the brutes usually spawn inside that back room. Along with the additional drones, we're going to skip them completely. You can do this on either side of this area right here. So jump, crouch jump up here. And then crouch jump inside here and boom. You are now in. So up top there's going to be that brute chieftain that I told you about earlier. He's got a plasma turret. And there can be 4 active camo brutes as well. I'm going to show you a really cool trick on how to actually defeat the active camo brutes while keeping your shields the entire time. So they're not quite camoed as soon as you actually get up the lift here. So you can actually take the opportunity. Now check this out. You can actually melee them through the glass. I've said actually too many times at this point. It takes 4 melees to take them down. There we go. And now you have full shields. So you can lure him back here. Or you can do what we've done in the last few missions where you can let them charge to the other side of the glass and then just sidestep them as they try to charge towards you. Now be careful here because they can actually hit you through the glass as well. So there we go. That's 3 brutes down. There's 1 more. Plus the chieftain. The chieftain's going to be a little bit tricky here since we don't have the Spartan laser. Once their shields are down, they can't camouflage themselves anymore. So that's always a plus. So we're going to do a little dance with this chieftain right here. Wait for him to get a little distracted. Then you want to take down his shields. Now we're going to do a little dance with him. When you take down his shields, he gets distracted. Move around him. And then hit him in the back.
Hit the switch, Chief.
Full shields. So now what we're going to do here is take all the weapons away from the brute corpses. Because the Flood are about to arrive. And if they resurrect with weapons near them, much like the Arbiter, they will pick up said weapons. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to store all the weapons over here in the corner. There we go. Just going to make sure that every corpse does not have a weapon near it. We'll be using the same strategy for the mission Cortana next. And it will help you out quite a bit, especially when prepping for certain areas of the mission. Oh, I miss dual wielding so much. Now you should be in good shape. Grab a plasma pistol and activate the switch. We're going to use the fire grenades to take out as many of the infection forms as possible. Plasma pistols and plasma rifles work equally fine against shielded Flood. You just have to know how to dance with them. Step back when they melee, and then close the distance and melee them back. Only the elite forms have shields. The brute forms and the human forms, combat forms to be more specific, can be meleeed pretty easily and they just fall to pieces, just like you're seeing here. It's a pretty effective way. If you do a plasma overcharge against an elite form, you can step up with a melee and easily take them down. Okay, so this is where things get tricky. This is why we have the invincibility.
Master, what's your status?
When you get down below, since we skipped all the brutes before, they're going to be there now, along with the hunters.
Stay away from the flood.
They're going to be combating the flood.
Come here.
The Ark is out of range of all the active installations.
So go up to the left-hand side right here,
Contain this outbreak before-
wait for an opening.
Stop the truth. Then we deal with the flood.
I'm going to melee this guy for my shields. And go right through the door. As soon as you're under fire, activate the invincibility.
Quickly, I must see the point of
There we
intercept
go.
damage to the Ark.
Now, there are two ways to approach this next area. One is you can use the Gauss Hog, which I'll show you later on. And the second way is with the Scorpion Tank. The Scorpion Tank is the much safer method to take.
Shipmaster's carrier is out of commission, Chief. I need you to take down Truth. Flood's just going to put pressure on him, accelerate his plans. Punch through the cliffs. Get inside that Citadel.
I'm going to see if that guy with the rocket launcher will get up here on the Scorpion Tank with me. There we go. And now we're ready. So the next area has a Brute Chieftain with a fuel rod cannon along with the Prowler. The Prowler is going to be your biggest threat here. So take him out first, then take out the Chieftain. Then mop up any brutes that are between you and your exit. There's the Prowler. Now, if you're ever curious to know whether or not you have shields, just quickly jump out of the tank and back in. It'll briefly launch you in a third-person perspective, and from there you'll be able to determine whether or not you have shields. Okay, so the Prowler and the Chieftain are both down. Now you can move to the next area. There's going to be a couple of ghosts here, so be wary of them. Shields are still up, despite taking a direct hit from the fuel rod cannon. There's also going to be a shade turret and the sniper tower here that you're going to want to get rid of.
Citadel in sight.
There's ghost number 1 and ghost number 2. Both ghosts down for the count. Now up this hill you have another Prowler that's going to be engaging you, so take him out first. There's another shade turret over there on the left-hand side. And there's the Prowler. He's your biggest threat right now. And for some reason my Marine is shooting at the wall. Prowler is down. We have another ghost over here. Take out both ghosts before they reach you on the other side. There's another Prowler over there at the base of this little chasm right here. You want to take him out as well. There is also a brute with the fuel rod gun in the cave, so you want to make sure you deal with him as well. Just take your time. There we go. Prowler is down. And we still have shields. Fantastic. Now take out the shade turret. You might need to move over to the far side because of the angle. There we go. Shade turret is down. We're just worrying about the brute over here. So enter the cave, and there's going to be a wraith on the other side. Now, as long as you're in the right position, the wraith can't hurt you, but you can hurt it. See, he's firing to my left. So just sit here and continue to pummel the wraith. And we got the shade turret at the same time. Fantastic. Now, again, there's another brute with a fuel rod cannon up here. There's going to be a few other brutes as well. Mop them up from a safe distance. There we go. So now 2 Hornets are going to land. We want to be able to commandeer both the Hornets. So you're going to have to push one of the pilots off the cliff, sadly.
Hornets inbound!
That second Hornet is where the pilot's going to jump out. He's going to be the guy we need to push off. That way we can commandeer the second Hornet later.
Hi, Chief. What do you need?
Bye-bye. Now commandeer this particular Hornet and make sure your Marine jumps up with you. 2 Scarabs are going to drop. We're going to approach the one on the left first.
Two Scarab!
Land on top of it. Go up the left hind leg. And melee the core. This will get you your shields back if you lost any during the tank fight. This is where things get a little bit tricky here because sometimes there's a prowler and several ghosts in this area and they can take you out. So try to get as far to the wall as you can, the cliffside. And first Scarab is down. Now to deal with the second Scarab, you have 2 options here.
Concentrate your fire on number 2.
The first thing you want to do is get back up to the cliffs. This is where your tank is and your second Hornet. Now, if you're lucky, the Pelican will distract the Scarab, and you can actually utilize this to your advantage. You can shoot off the back side of the Scarab, followed by its core. Whoop! So you tried to run over me there. Keep all eyes on this Gauss Hog. Okay, so the second way is to use the second Hornet to board the Scarab just like we did the first one. Now you do need to be careful because the Chieftain on the second Scarab is very active. There are Chieftains on both Scarabs. Both have fuel rod cannons, but you need to be very careful with the second one because he's much more aggressive than the first one. So it looks like the Pelican is currently distracting the Scarab, which is good. That means we can use the tank to take him out. Now, if this was not the case, you'd want to use the second Hornet to board the Scarab, just like we did with the first one. It's the easiest way to... It's by far the easiest way to take these guys out. So right now I'm just keeping an eye on them just to make sure. And yep, they're at a standstill. So now you can grab the tank and just go ahead and take out the core from a distance. Again, this does not happen every time. If it does not happen with you, you're going to want to use that second Hornet to take out the Scarab. So aim for the backside right there. Backside has fallen off. We can see the shield perfectly well from here. He's moving just a little bit. Shield is down from the core. So we're almost there. And the Scarab is down. Both Scarabs are down. Now again, remember, if this does not happen on your run, and the Scarab keeps moving around in circles, you can use the second Hornet to board it. But that's why we had to push the pilot off the cliff earlier.
Both Scarabs down. Well done. Marines, kill the stragglers.
I'm going to go ahead and see if I can mop up these Banshees right here. Usually they'll just fly away, but just in case. And since we have that second Hornet available, just go ahead and fly over to the other side and meet the Arbiter and 343 Guilty Spark.
Hides a path.
Chief, Spark has found a way into the Citadel. He's waiting for you on the platform, Chief. Go.
The flood scales the Citadel's far wall. Activate this bridge oracle. Prophet will die by miles. Not there.
Now you should have a carbine and a plasma pistol at this point.
We had more time.
This should give you plenty of ammo for dealing with all the brutes in the next area. If you're ever curious to know whether or not your shields are down, you can also look at your legs. If they're crackling, your shields are down. If they're not, you have shields.
And I answered. For a moment of safety, I loosed damnation on the stars.
My faithful, stand firm. Thou
Alright, so now the Flood are on your side. Weirdly enough. Go ahead and sidestep this area right here because there are a bunch of grunts that are going to start lobbing plasma grenades at this location. Let the Flood and the Arbiter deal with most of them while you stay back from a distance and use the carbine to take them out. The ones you should be most concerned about are the grunts with the fuel rod cannons at the other end of this segment. There's one on each side of the door. Once you get close enough, there'll be two more grunts that actually emerge with fuel rod cannons from inside the structure. There's only one brute here. There are a couple of jackals. Nothing you can't handle. Just make sure you don't get stuck. The Flood here are infinitely spawning, so you can always wait around to let them do most of the damage if you want to. Or wait for Arbiter to go kamikaze. Alright, so we should have one more grunt over there. Nope, both grunts are down, so go ahead and trigger the second group. Jump on top of this crate and on top of the structure. And the other two grunts will emerge. Along with another one with a plasma cannon. Or a plasma turret, I'm sorry. And grunts are down. So as you can see on the opposite side, there are 4 jump jet brutes that we have to worry about. There are several brutes over here on the bridge that we also need to worry about. You can take them out safely from here. My recommendation is you just worry about their shields and armor for now. Remember, once the Flood get involved, they can actually consume the brutes and take them over. They can convert them into Flood, which helps you out quite a bit. So, at least for right now, worry about only taking down their armor. You should have plenty of plasma pistol ammo at this point. Not just from what you brought, but also from the previous area where we had jackals and grunts. There's also a hammer chieftain in the back. This guy is a little bit trickier than the ones we faced in the past because he's going to constantly be swinging his hammer at Flood infection form, so you can't just approach him like you normally would. But if you do get his shields down, the Flood can take over from there, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. So again, just take your time. We're going to trigger the jump jet brutes. Now, some of these guys have carbines, so you got to be really careful here, because they can headshot you. They always aim for center of mass, so you can always peek over to the top right here without having to worry about getting shot. Now, if you're lucky, Arbiter will do most of the work, as will the Flood. Alright, another Brute's armor is down. And we have plenty of carbine ammo for the latter part of this segment. Go ahead and take out these fuel rod grunts over here. So they don't cause you any trouble later. Okay, like I said, you should have plenty of ammo here. Now, trying to take out this guy is a little bit difficult because he's engaging in the Flood. Otherwise, he'd be a piece of cake. So that's actually the downside of having the Flood on your side, is it makes it difficult to get brutes at a standstill like we normally do for previous missions where you could just take out brutes with a plasma pistol from a distance. We have 2 brute captains in the back with brute shots, so be aware of them as well. Looks like we have 1 jump jet brute left. I call them jump jet, not jetpack brutes, by the way, because of Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun. We had jump jet troops in that particular game, so it's stuck ever since, and I love that game very much. Okay, so one of the brutes with the brute shot is down. We just need to worry about this other guy right here standing in front of the chieftain. And like I said, the chieftain here is going to be a little bit tricky. Now, what I found works best when dealing with the chieftain here is to take down his shields with the plasma pistol, and then let the flood take him over. It actually happens fairly quickly. His hammer won't save him. Bye, Arbiter. Welcome back, Arbiter. Now again, you can check your feet to see if your shields are up or down. As you can see, we still have plenty of shields, so we're in good shape. I'm gonna grab 2 plasma pistols this time. Sword-wielding squid jaw versus hammer-wielding monkey. Let's see who wins. I'm going to guess it's going to be the brute. Bye, Arbiter. There we go. And now he's taken over by the flood. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 easy. Now the next area, there aren't going to be any enemies for you to worry about at all, but what we do want to do is the same strategy we used earlier, whereas we want to remove all the weapons from the corpses so that they don't come back and haunt us later.
Far are we along the path? They may foul the way with their charred and broken.
So go ahead and just throw these weapons off the bridge. You're not going to need them anyway, so don't worry about it. Look around. There's going to be some spikers, some plasma pistol ammo, some needlers. Just throw them all off the bridge. That way you don't have to worry about them later. Just like that. And once you're ready, go ahead and activate the bridge and get ready to fight the flood again. Well, that was a quick 180. So immediately you're going to have 2 elites with shields, or elite combat forms with shields. Go ahead and use your plasma pistol to eliminate those shields so that Arbiter can take him out with his energy sword. Or you can melee them, just like I did there. The nice thing about fighting against the flood is there's plenty of opportunity for you to get your shields back. So again, the nice thing about removing the weapons here is you don't have to worry about the brutes, or I should say the brute combat forms, or the human combat forms for that matter, gaining any weapons to actually attack you with. So this should make things pretty easy for you. Ooh! Almost got struck by Arbiter's sword there. Be very careful because he will take you out. He will team kill you. So just be extra careful. Now when you approach the door, more combat forms will show up. One of them has a shotgun. It's going to be a human form, so you need to be very careful with that as well. So trigger them to spawn. As soon as you do, back up. Take out the human form with... Ooh! Hello. Got my shields back, though. Did not see that guy coming. Alright, so in this next area, you're going to have Sentinels show up, which are going to help you immensely, especially against the elite forms. Because they will help you wear down their shields. Lots of Sentinels here. Now, none of these guys are really that big of a threat to you. The one you need to worry about the most is going to be the elite combat form with the sword that emerges from the opposite side of the area. He will charge you like no tomorrow, and he can one-hit kill you. And given that we're at the end of the mission here, you need to be very, very careful. You can always melee the dead combat forms and break them up so they don't resurrect by get resurrected by infection forms. So this is where the sword guy comes in. You want to back up, get your plasma pistol ready, and noob combo him. He's very jump happy here, so we want to make sure that we don't get caught in his blades. So again, just noob combo him. Sword is down. Make sure he doesn't get back up. Now go ahead and throw plasma grenades at these carrier forms right here. That way the infection forms don't spread. Hello, Arbiter. Welcome back.
I'm a thief, but I keep what I steal.
Now again, nothing overly crazy here, just a few more infection forms, combat forms. There are 2 flood carriers that you need to take down. You can use the fuel rod gun if you want to, but stick the carriers. That is, if the Arbiter and the Sentinels don't try to take them out first. Again, just take your time. When their shields are down, you can go ahead and take them out with the carbine. Head up the bridge, and you are done. That is the Covenant on Mythic difficulty, aka LASO, whatever you want to call it. I hope this guide was useful to you, and if it was, and you liked this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing for more great content right here on the channel. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you all right back here next time. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off. Just kidding. Remember how I told you before that we're not quite done yet? Remember I told you before I was going to show you how to do an even faster method for the twin Scarabs without the Scorpion tank? Well, here we go. We're going to grab the Gauss Hog and just rush this entire area. It's actually fairly repeatable. It's not as safe as doing the Scorpion method, but it still works. So you want to hug the right-hand side of this area and basically just try to go through as fast as you can. It'll take a second for this area to load.
Citadel
Go up the little ramp right here.
Troops are mobilizing everything they've got.
Make sure the ghosts aren't attacking you, and keep going along the right-hand side of this ramp. Right past the Prowlers. Took out one of the ghosts while we were at it. Look at this, we still have shields. So this is entirely doable. on Mythic difficulty, on LASO, Legendary, all skulls on. Park the vehicle right over here. Now, just like what we did before, you want to get rid of the pilot from the Hornet over there on the right-hand side, so we can commandeer both Hornets. This is the strategy I was talking about earlier, where if you can't take out the second Scarab with the tank, you're going to need that second Hornet. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that.
I'm on your side, remember?
Yes, I know.
Save your effort.
So go ahead and take the left-hand Hornet, the one with the pilot already in
I
it,
said shotgun.
and go for the Scarab on the left-hand side.
I count 2 Scarabs. Repeat, 2
You can drop right on top of them. Remember, no fall damage in Halo 3. Go ahead and melee the core. Get those shields back. And jump off towards the cliff wall. Be wary of the Prowler and other ghosts that are in the area. Hopefully your Marines will be distracting them. First Scarab is down.
First Scarab's down. All units, concentrate your fire on number 2.
So now head back up to the cliffs and grab the second Hornet. While the Halo music is rocking you senseless. Alright, so now we're gonna make a run for the second Scarab. Same deal, you want to land right on top of it. Now watch out, because the Fuel Rod Chieftain is definitely more active in this area. As you can see, he's pursuing us relentlessly. I'm gonna melee this guy, get my shields back, go right for the core. And that, my friends, is the kamikaze method for dealing with the twin Scarabs on the mission The Covenant. I hope you found this guide useful, and I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy day to sit down and watch this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll consider subscribing for more great content right here on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope everyone here has an absolutely wonderful week. I'll catch you all right back here next time, and as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.